Tom lived on a street where all the houses looked the same, lined up in neat rows with perfectly trimmed lawns and matching mailboxes. Except his, the one with the bright red door that stood out like a cheerful beacon among the sea of sameness. Tom was 10, with a mop of brown hair and a knack for riding his bike hands-free down the sidewalk. But what he loved even more was letting his imagination run wild, dreaming up adventures that could turn any ordinary day into something magical. Every morning, he'd eat his crunchy cereal at the kitchen table, gazing out the window and inventing wild plans for the day ahead. Sometimes he was a daring explorer, other times a secret agent on a mission. He liked ordinary things, playing catch with his dad in the backyard, feeling the satisfying thump of the ball in his glove, reading comics sprawled out on his bedroom floor, getting lost in stories of superheroes and faraway worlds, and exploring the neighborhood with his best friend, Leo, who was always up for an adventure, no matter how big or small. Tom was responsible. He fed his goldfish every morning, usually remembered to put on matching socks, and always kept his promises, no matter how small. If Tom said he'd do something, you could count on him. But what he wanted most, more than anything else, was a dog. A loyal companion to share his adventures and secrets. He'd asked for one every birthday and holiday, hoping each time his parents would finally say yes. But they always replied, "Maybe when you're older, Tom." A dog is a big responsibility, reminding him that some wishes take time. Still, Tom never stopped dreaming. In his mind, he already had a floppy-eared dog named Rocket, who was brave, loyal, and always ready for adventure, just like Tom hoped to be. On this sunny afternoon, Tom finished his homework in record time, stuffed his books into his backpack, and grabbed his favorite blue cap, the one he wore on all his best days. He called out, "I'm going to the park, Mom," his voice full of hope and excitement. "Be back before dinner," she replied, her voice drifting from the kitchen, warm and familiar. Tom felt a flutter of excitement in his chest. Today felt different, as if something wonderful was waiting just around the corner. He paused on the sidewalk, heart pounding with anticipation. Maybe, just maybe, today would be the day his biggest dream started to come true. And with that, Tom set off down the street, ready for whatever the day would bring, his imagination soaring and his hopes higher than ever. The park was Tom's favorite place, fields, slides, and shady oak trees. He wandered toward the rose bushes, thinking up adventures, when he heard a soft whimper. Curious, Tom crept closer and peeked behind a bush. There, curled up on the grass, was the tiniest, fluffiest puppy he'd ever seen. Golden fur, floppy ears, and big, sad eyes stared up at him. The puppy shivered, alone and scared, with no collar or owner in sight. Tom's heart leapt. This was just like the dog he'd always imagined. He knelt down, whispering, "Hey there, little guy. It's okay." The puppy sniffed his hand, then licked it. In that moment, Tom knew he couldn't leave the puppy behind. Tom's ordinary day had just turned extraordinary. He scooped up the puppy, determined to help. The adventure had truly begun. Tom sat quietly on the park bench, feeling the soft weight of the puppy beside him, who curled up in his lap, content and safe, as if it had always belonged there. Tom glanced around the park. He expected to see someone searching, calling out for a missing dog. But the park was calm and empty. He wondered if the puppy had wandered far from home, or if someone was worried and looking for it right now. Tom wanted to take the puppy home with him, to keep it safe and warm. But he remembered. Having a dog was a big responsibility, and this puppy probably belonged to someone who missed it dearly. Still, Tom couldn't bring himself to leave the little creature alone and frightened. Stroking its soft fur, he whispered, "I'll call you Sparky for now," feeling a rush of affection and responsibility. But deep down, Tom knew what he had to do. He needed to find Sparky's real family, no matter how much he wanted to keep him. Tom promised himself he'd care for the puppy, keep it safe, and do everything he could to find its owner, even if it meant saying goodbye. With Sparky in his arms, Tom set off for home, his mind racing with ideas. Maybe he could make posters, or ask neighbors if they recognized the puppy. He realized he was about to become a detective, searching for clues and answers. Tom looked at Sparky, now asleep in his arms, and made a silent promise. "I'll help you get home, no matter what." The journey home felt longer than ever, each step filled with new worries and hopes. But Tom was ready for the challenge, determined to do the right thing for his new friend. Tom snuck Sparky into his room, making a cozy bed from an old blanket. He glanced around, making sure no one had seen him. The puppy wagged his tail, clearly happy to have a safe place to rest. Tom smiled, feeling a sense of responsibility for his new furry friend. He gave the puppy some milk and water, watching as Sparky lapped it up eagerly. Tom gently patted his head, whispering, "Don't worry, I'll help you." But Tom knew he couldn't keep Sparky hidden forever. He had to find out where the puppy belonged. So he set out to solve the mystery. Tom asked neighbors if they'd seen a lost puppy. Mr. Henderson grumbled, barely opening his door, and muttered something about stray dogs. Mrs. Gable hadn't seen anything, though she wished him luck and offered a cookie for his efforts. And no one seemed to know Sparky. The neighbors shrugged, some even looking a little confused, but no one recognized the puppy. Discouraged but determined, Tom realized he needed a better plan. He sat on his bed, thinking hard about what to do next. He returned to his room, watching Sparky sleep peacefully, curled up in the blanket. The puppy looked so content, it made Tom even more determined to help him. Tom decided to reach more people. Maybe someone out there was missing Sparky and searching for him. He grabbed paper and started brainstorming, jotting down every idea he could think of to spread the word. He would make posters, just like a real detective. Tom carefully drew Sparky's picture and wrote a message asking for help. Tom was not giving up. He felt a new sense of purpose, ready to do whatever it took. He was Tom the puppy detective, and he was on the case. With his magnifying glass and notebook, he felt unstoppable. With a new plan, Tom felt hope return. He knew he was getting closer to solving the mystery. He knew he'd need help, but he was ready. Tom took a deep breath, feeling excitement and nerves mixed together. The search for Sparky's family was just beginning. Tom's determination grew stronger with every step he took outside. He was ready for the next step, confident that he and Sparky would find the answers together. Tom's mum knocked on his door, and he confessed everything. She wasn't angry. She smiled and agreed to help, reminding him puppies need real food. Tom's dad joined in, proud of Tom's responsibility. The next day, Leo came over, thrilled to meet Sparky and eager to help. "Let's make posters," Leo suggested. Armed with paper and markers, they drew Sparky's picture and wrote, "Lost puppy, found in the park, very friendly, no collar." Tom's dad added their phone number. Soon, they had a stack of posters and a plan. With his family and best friend by his side, Tom felt hopeful. They were a team, ready to find Sparky's home. The adventure was no longer his alone. Together, they would do their best. Tom was no longer just a detective, he was a leader. Tom and Leo set out, taping posters all over the neighborhood and at the park. They even left one at the animal shelter, where a kind woman promised to help. After 2 days of waiting, Tom grew attached to Sparky, but he knew he had to do the right thing. Then, on the third afternoon, the phone rang. Tom's mom answered, then handed him the phone. "It's a little girl," she whispered. "She saw your poster." Tom's heart pounded as he took the call. "You found my puppy? You found Barnaby?" the girl asked, her voice full of hope. Tom looked at Sparky, one ear floppier than the other. "Yes," he said softly. "I think I have your puppy." The search was almost over. Tom felt both happy and sad. Soon, he would have to say goodbye. The girl, Lily, and her mom arrived soon after. The puppy, Barnaby, ran straight to Lily, tail wagging wildly. There was no doubt this was his family. Lily's mom thanked Tom for his kindness and responsibility. Tom knelt to say goodbye, stroking Barnaby's fur one last time. Watching Lily hug her puppy, Tom felt both proud and sad. He'd done the right thing, even though it was hard. That night, Tom's parents told him how proud they were. "Maybe we can visit the animal shelter this weekend," his mum said with a smile. Tom's eyes lit up. A real dog of his own. Tom's adventure with Sparky was over, but a new one was just beginning. He had proved he was ready for responsibility. The house felt quiet, but Tom's heart was full. Tomorrow anything could happen.